There's a situation so familiar that it almost becomes invisible. A child is in the room. An adult's voice carries through the space. Clear. Loud enough. Not vague at all. The first time. No response. The second time. Still nothing. The third time. The volume rises slightly. The rhythm becomes faster. The sentence becomes longer. And then, after a few repetitions, a very strange feeling appears. Not quite anger. Not yet helplessness. But a quiet question. Why isn't the child listening? What's interesting is that, at that moment, many people believe one thing. The child is hearing, but choosing not to respond. It's the most common explanation, and also the most convenient one. From the outside, this looks like behavior. But if you look more closely, it begins to feel less like a choice and more like a state. Sound still exists in the air. The ears still receive vibration. But somewhere inside, the brain is processing a completely different story. Few people notice this. A young child's brain does not operate in a simple sequence of hear, understand, and do sequence. It's not an empty mailbox waiting to be opened. It is more like a room that already contains many things. Images, sensations, lingering sounds from earlier, a thought that hasn't finished yet, a game still running in the background. So when a reminder appears, it doesn't enter an empty room. It enters a space that is already crowded. This is where the misunderstanding begins. Many people assume that if something is repeated enough times, the message will eventually sink in. But the brain doesn't work like water being poured into a cup. It works more like a filtering system. When the same signal repeats again and again and again, with the same voice, the same rhythm, the same intensity, the brain begins to adapt. And once it adapts, that signal is no longer prioritized. Think of the sound of a fan running in a room, or rain falling outside the window. You still hear it, but it no longer holds your attention. At that moment, the issue is not whether the sound reaches the ears. The real question is which category the brain assigns it to. The brain is constantly deciding what deserves attention and what can safely be ignored. Imagine the brain as a gatekeeper. Every day, hundreds of signals want to enter. Not all of them can pass through. When too many signals arrive at the same time, the gatekeeper becomes tired. And when tired, the gate closes earlier than usual. At that moment, adding one more reminder does not open the gate. It simply makes the gatekeeper stand still. Few people notice that a child's silence in these moments is not exactly not listening. It resembles a temporary disconnection, not fully shut down, just suspended. The eyes are open. The body is present. But the central processing system is busy somewhere else. Like a computer with too many tabs open. When asked one more question, it doesn't respond. Not because it refuses, but because it's frozen. At that moment, the brain is no longer prioritizing language. It is prioritizing stability. When stimulation becomes overwhelming, the brain shifts toward more familiar modes. Less energy, less processing demand. Silence in this case is not a challenge. It is a strategy to reduce overload. Ironically, the moment silence appears, the environment often becomes louder. Voices rise, sentences grow longer, pressure increases, and the very signal the brain is filtering out becomes even stronger. If we view this phenomenon as a biological process, it becomes less personal. It is simply a nervous system doing exactly what it was designed to do: filter, select, protect. At this moment, the brain is busy. If this idea resonates with you, leave a like and share your experience in the comments. In the next video, we'll explore another mystery. Why do children sometimes do the exact opposite of what their parents ask?